guys, how are you doing today?
Welcome to our team call. Some of you guys may be like, woof, are we in Charleston, South Carolina, or are we back home? It's been a little bit of a whirlwind.
Some of these guys are floating on air right now after this weekend. I know that much. I'm fired up.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Hello. See you guys joining in here. Thanks for getting on. Nice to see some of you guys are awake on this Monday. We are glad to be here with you. I know for us, it has been definitely a hustle to be on this live with you guys right now, to say the least. If you would only see what I was doing 30 minutes ago, but I'm here, I'm with you. You guys, your lives are the same. I know some of you guys are working out right now. If you're getting this live, I see some of you guys are jumping on. Hey, from Terracia, I know that girl. What's up, Holly? Now, are you working out, Holly, or are you getting this live? Because you told us you get us on the treadmill. So what's up, Maria? So nice to have you on here. Guys, we are so excited about seeing a lot of you this past weekend. And Lynette and I were just talking. We're going to dive into this a little bit. I think we had one of the best networking events I've been a part of in years. I mean, it was like I had to tell somebody like at one moment, like I need 5 minutes because my brain is like on fire right now.
And what he's referring to is Saturday night. You know, we always have our team gathering Saturday night and everybody comes together. Sometimes everybody spends the whole time dancing. Sometimes everybody just kind of hangs and doesn't do a whole lot. Well, this Saturday, y'all were networking like beasts. I was the same way. I'm like, I just need some water.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And we danced too, because we have to throw that in there. But we really had some good conversations.
And I know a lot of you guys wanted to be at the event. Fortunately, you guys did get to see some of the event. There was a major snowstorm that prevented a lot of people from being at the event, and so they did simulcast, I think, general sessions, and from what I was told, all of the breakouts were recorded for future pro audio series and training that will be available to the field. So we know a lot of you guys wanted to be there. We're not able to be there. We understand, but for those of you that were there, we were so excited to share those few days with you. And the experiences, I think, I saw a few distributors that are just beyond excitement. And I'm just saying you don't get that at home. You just don't.
I saw some people who were leaving that event the same way Brandon and I left our first event. And that was like with that face, that game face, like it's about to go down. There were a lot of those faces this weekend. And I know why. I mean, we're going to kind of go over some of the things that were shared over the weekend. No way will we do it justice. You had to be there to get the full effect. But there's some things that we wanted to highlight with you. So you want to start by going over our core value, babe?
Just wanted to make sure. I'm pretty sure we're live by all the comments we're getting. But so core value number 6 is our team, our company, own it. And the main principle behind that core value, guys, is for anyone to have success, you have to take ownership. In other words, it has to feel personal to you for you to be passionate, right? If you're not passionate, you're not gonna get the results that you want. And there are different ways that you guys can take ownership of this team and this company. And one way that I feel all of us can benefit from kind of this core value is at Elite Academies and how we own our own team and setting the pace for the team. In other words, I don't want anybody to ever think that you go unmissing. Like, we miss you guys. When those that are not there, we know there's things going on. We know life happens, but we miss you guys. We want to be there with you. And so does the rest of the team miss you. And so no one out there should feel as if they're not a big part of the success of this event. When one person's not there, we feel it. We feel it. I feel it. Of course, there's always going to be new people there that are experiencing it for the first time, that are going to be on cloud 9 because they're getting that experience for the first time. But the others that have been to a few, every person that's missing, we feel it. And I don't want you to ever think that you're just a part of this team. No, you are the team. Like that's the mindset behind this core value, is not that you're a part of it, that you are it. You are Team True Blue. You are LifeVantage. And we want you guys to own that. And so coming into Kansas City, which is the next event, we want to have the whole team taking that approach, really reflecting on this core value, that this is our company and that the responsibility for this company to grow rests on all of our shoulders.
The word that's come to my mind as you're saying that is kind of prideful, right? Like when you take ownership of something, you're prideful of it. You want to make sure that it's represented in a good way and that no one kind of gives it a bad reputation in any way, shape, or form. You always want to put it in the best light. And we do that through our actions. We do that through our words. And it's something to really take to heart because we all like to be a part of that. It's kind of what family is made up of, right? That's how you treat your family. And so it's a great core value to consider. So
we're going to set some high goals around Kansas City and getting our team. We can't control other people's actions. We can only control our actions. So first, I'm asking you guys to make a commitment to Kansas City. For those of you out there that want to grow your organization, I know not everybody that's watching this has the goals of maybe making $1,000 or $2,000 a month. But for those of you out there that are watching this that are, these elite academies are really a great way for you to be able to get your income above $300 a month, to get the income to $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. And so really that message is for you, that take pride in that this next elite academy that we're going to do, that it's on you. Like if your team's to grow, you are the one that's going to have to take responsibility. You're going to have to own it. And if you own it, then you're going to see that behavior reflected in your organization as well. So.
Well, and the way that happens, the way you end up with more people there is by promoting it, right? Like it should be something that you're regularly talking about. It starts with you committing to it, but then regularly promoting it. I heard some stories. I really wanted to have them on here, and we just didn't have the time to get it all aligned. But I know that Graham Gonzalez had some people from his team. There were two ladies who traveled from Mexico to get to Elite Academy. They traveled 36 hours because where they're located in Mexico is far from the airport. So they had to take a bus to the airport. Then they flew to Orlando and got in Graham's car, and Graham drove them to South Carolina. Now they're doing that all to get back, you guys. That happened for one reason. Graham saw the value of Elite Academy and conveyed that to them, and they made the sacrifice. And bonus tip, they're so new to the business, they haven't even got their kit in hand yet.
Yeah.
How about that?
They don't even have their kits delivered, and they made that trek to be there, and they are on fire. I spent extra time with them Saturday night when I found out that story, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about having an impact on someone's life that you cannot put into words, and it won't happen outside of Elite Academy.
Well, you're kind of giving me goosebumps as I reflect on that conversation, because she shared that her mother had been a part of another company for years and had tremendous success, but that's not any longer. And she called her mom and she was like, "I found our home, Mom." And I'm like, that gives me goosebumps. And yes, this is the place. There's no better place. But on that note of our next event, you guys, our next event is going to be incredible. Why? Because it's LifeVantage's 10-year anniversary. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
10-year anniversary, and they're going all out. In fact, you know how they always have the promo that if you enroll over the weekend and into the following week, you get it for $79. Well, this time they said it's going to be $99. And the reason for that $20 difference is because there's going to be a party. They're going to celebrate. It's our 10-year anniversary. They're going to make it a big blowout. You're not going to want to miss being there. So take advantage of the special pricing. I think it's through the end of the week. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Go do your due diligence to find out. But you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, so we're going to own it, guys. We're going to own it as a team. I want you guys to own it personally. For those of you that do want to be what Darren opened the Elite Academy up as an influencer. We're going to talk some more about being an influencer, what that kind of meant, some things that maybe some action items for you to take into mind as you're going through your week and what your to-dos are to do for your team. So we're going to cover that a little bit. The Elite Experience, do you want to jump into that?
Yeah, so they launched a couple promos this weekend. Of course, they're launching the Physique Challenge. Now, you guys know they normally do that around the first of the year. We're a little delayed in that. The reason is because they knew that they were releasing the revised Physique product line, and you guys, it's phenomenal. The prebiotic is like a treat.
Ooh, I'll be right back.
No.
No, yeah, go.
Okay, the prebiotic is like a treat. Although it tastes absolutely delicious, do not overdo it. Our wonderful corporate staff did that for us and shared that it's not, a fabulous experience. You'll spend more time in the bathroom. So only take the dosage. But they also took the casein protein out of the protein powder. They increased the amount of protein in the powder. They repackaged it. It's game changer. He had to go get it for right now. He wanted to share with you.
I already had it mixed up. I just didn't finish it.
Didn't drink it.
That's what it looks like, and it's yummy.
It's phenomenal. So they're launching the Physique Challenge now so that people can do it with the new setup. And so for the exact details of the Physique Challenge, I would just advise checking online. I didn't see it up yet, but it's happening. And they're either taking 3 or 5, I can't be sure, female and male winners, flying them to Elite Academy, and on stage will reveal the #1 winner, and that #1 winner will get cash. So pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, the prebiotic, guys, is on fire. It tastes phenomenal. It has some of the ingredients from the cleanse that is now being removed from a SKU from our catalog. The fat burner, sometimes people feel like fat burners are not good for them, right? Because they make you jittery or raise your heart level. That's not this type fat burner. This, guys, nothing LifeVantage produces is bad for you. Use the products. These fat burners are designed to not only help you lose the fat around the abdomen, but it's also designed to help you extend the fat burning periods. So guys, it's a phenomenal product. It's been reformulated and reduced in the amount of tablets or pills, capsules you have to take. That was an awesome launch. They did a really
they
good job.
recognized that sometimes you forget to take a second dose if you can't take it all at once in the morning, and so they did that. And yes, you can't eat a pint of ice cream and have a fat burner and think you're going to be good. She said a spoonful, as Dr. Fifi said. But the other promotion they launched is the Elite Experience. And the details of that, you guys, is beginning February 1st. So we're already in the qualification period. If you are a new distributor to a Pro 2, what you have to do to accomplish this is become a Pro 3 by the end of June, enroll 10 total new distributors, 15 new customers. So we're talking February to June. That means that you've got all that time to accomplish it. If you want to break it down monthly, that's two new distributors a month, 3 new customers, okay? If you are a Pro 3 and a Pro 4, create 2 new Pro 3s by the end of June. Personally enroll 10 distributors, 15 customers. So again, that's 2 distributors a month, 3 customers a month. Very doable. If you are a Pro 5 and above, what you have to do to qualify is 1 Pro 3 each month for a total of 5 new Pro 3s, 2 new distributors a month for a total of 10, and 3 new customers a month for a total of 15. So the reason they gave you those totals is that if, sometimes somebody may enroll on the 1st instead of the 31st, they're gonna do a compilation. As long as those are your totals, you're good. And what you'll get is the Elite Experience. They're gonna give you preferred seating throughout the entire event at the Elite Academy. You're gonna get a special gift and some swag. Attendance to the Elite reception. You guys, they've never done this before. They have never allowed distributors outside of elite status to attend our elite reception.
I'm just thinking that a 10-year anniversary elite reception might be on fire.
Well, and it's going to be at the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame.
Cool, that's right.
So that's pretty legit. But more than that, you guys, when you have the ability to surround yourself with people who are earning over $100,000 a month, I mean, a year.
The comp plan just got really good.
Those people will be in the room also, by the way.
They'll be those two.
But $100,000 a year, they've got some insight. They've got some nuggets for you. And you'll have the ability to be there schmoozing right along with them, picking their brains. So you want to be there. And then the last thing is that they're going to recognize you during the event. So that's a super cool promotion because they've never done that before. I don't know if they'll ever do it again. So don't miss out on your chance to do it. Besides, it's the proper business building activity. That's the things that we're trying to shoot for anyway. Your check's going to skyrocket, and then you get all these perks on top of it.
Yeah, right on. So I want to talk before we jump into this influencer stuff because I think this was really, really awesome stuff that Darren laid out for everyone. There was, oh goodness, his last name is Leary. Jimmy Leary?
Jimmy Leary.
Jimmy Leary was there. He's a songwriter. He's written some songs that if you were into country music, you've definitely heard the songs before.
I almost broke into song and then I checked myself because I can't sing, so I saved y'all.
Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'll do it inside.
He did a bunch of cool things, but one of the messages I wanted to just relay to you that I think that hit me after we're like 40 plus elite academies, by the way.
Oh.
Like
I've never done the math on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So if you can put all the events together, anyway, this was a new thought to me, and he said when writing songs, the reason songs become so popular is they talk to someone's feelings, right? So that's why there's stories, and we've known that. Country music's famous for these stories. Some people make fun of the stories because they're all about the same thing usually, but nevertheless, somebody's buying millions of copies of those stories. And he said that when writing music, it's nothing more than saying something to someone that they feel. So he said, the translation for us in our business is, what would you say to you that would sell you today? Like, what would someone say to you today that would get you? Like, and it's probably changed. What got you when you signed up is probably different than what would get you now. And I think the mistake would hit me is a lot of people continue maybe to say what they were saying when they first signed up as an invite. I'm talking invite at this point. Maybe I should have clarified. So I think your invite should reflect what would sell you today because it is about feeling. It is about emotion. It is about passion. So you may have signed up because you were in love with the products, but now you're in love with the community that you have found. Like there's people now that are like that woman from New York. I need to get her name. She was beyond excited. Like I think she was about to pee her pants. She was so excited, which I loved. I'm like, it was just amazing. I wish I could have videoed that conversation. But your passion and what sells you today is different than it was 6 months or a year ago. And I just want you guys to know what are you excited about? What matters to you today matters to other people. Whatever matters to you today, whether it's taking better care of a spouse or taking better care of your kids or being able to be in a financial situation that's different than that you're under stress, or maybe it is health related. What you care about most today is what is important to you, and what's important to you, you speak passionately about, and other people are going to buy that song. Other people are going to listen to that song. They're going to buy it. So make sure your invite is in line with what sells you today and what's important with you today, and not just an invite or a script that someone told you to repeat.
Well, and because the reason why is because it's what where your passion lies. And what he said over and over and over is, I feel you feel, I feel you feel, I feel you feel. So he said, you have to kind of open yourself up to feeling it. And then he went through telling a little story about kind of somewhat of an abusive childhood. And he walked through the whole thing descriptively. And he said, you guys, when I do that, I can smell the cigarette smoke. I can feel he can take himself right back there. Well, that's kind of a painful place to be. So a lot of people close that door, don't want to touch it. Obviously, we're not all dealing with those type things, but his point is, in order for us to have felt what he was feeling, he first had to feel it, right? So it's not just words that you're sharing, it's where your passion lies. And that's why it's so important that you speak from your passion. The other stuff is just kind of like cherries on top. You want to share that too.
Or the other stuff may be sales to your friends. Like when you get outside of what you're passionate about, you sometimes get into convince mode, and that's where I think a lot of people run into roadblocks. And
well, we've taught forever, and y'all have heard it 10 times over, that people don't remember what you say, they remember how you made them feel. So his lecture, or whatever you'd call what he did, was so on point with what we already know. It's just reminding ourselves that we have to kind of feel something as we're saying it, or else they probably will not.
Holly, I don't know if Kansas City is going to be ready for your team. I don't know.
It's going to be big.
I don't know if Kansas City's got enough barbecue for your team. They're going to have to cook some more. So let's talk about the influencers. Darren started the event. I'm super excited about the messaging that came out of this event, and I didn't know where Darren was going to take it. And so there was an event that actually I attended with Darren a few months ago, where it was outlined how a true gauge of a company's health is not really the volume it's producing or the sales, but more the influencers in the company. And he outlined growth. And so I don't want to get into a long conversation here on this call, but our company went through some massive rapid growth. We went from 0 to 200 million in 4 years during the worst economy since the Great Depression. 2009, 2010, the worst economy in American history since the Great Depression. And our company exploded. 0 to 200 million, fast growth. And what happened is it eventually slowed down and plateaued. And there's a reason why that is. And well, there's multiple reasons, but one of the main reasons is we outgrew leadership. And it's so funny because I stood on stage. Some of my Canadians will remember this. My Canadians that were there was a leadership meeting in Canada. I think the very first one 3 years ago. I think it was in Vancouver. I'm pretty sure it was in Vancouver. I stood on stage with Darren on the front row, and I said this company would already be $1 billion company if we had more leadership. And that's what Darren was saying, that we outgrew leadership. So the volume, the momentum outgrew the leadership development of the group. And so those things have to correct. And eventually it has corrected. And that's why now you're seeing growth again for the second time at LifeVantage, is because our leadership has developed. Our growth of leadership has caught up with the volume, and that's why it's starting to bounce again. And so he's developed a program for our company that he is basically putting under the umbrella of being an influencer. So there are, let me see, why don't you go through the things that he defined as what makes an influencer?
He defined the 5 characteristics of an influencer: being independent, a problem solver, consistent, creating action, and having a big vision. So what I thought of with that is ask yourself where you are in regards to those 5 things. And if you feel like there's an area that you need improvement, start developing it. Because the reality is it's influencers. They did all, over the weekend, they did all kind of things related to influencers. They talked about that. Darren shared that if you had 25 influencers on your team, you will be making 7 figures.
He kind of brushed over that. I gave him a hard time for it.
7 figures, a millionaire, if you have 25 influencers on your team. But it starts with you being an influencer. right? So you develop yourself, and then you begin to develop others into influencers. And some will come along and will need no development. They'll already have the skills. But that is what we're looking for. We're looking for more influencers so that as our company takes another spike that it's going to take, that gap doesn't occur the way that it did before, and that rise can continue, because we need that to happen. We need to have the influencers in alignment with the growth.
Well, it's in alignment with our core value number one is our team's intentional and we live with purpose. That's core value number one. Lynette and I's focus completely is on growing more leadership inside of our organization. That's why we promote reading, we promote elite academies, we promote leadership development, because we know that is what's going to sustain this organization for decades and decades. And let me make one point about the independence and what that might be, right? If you are getting questions from your team and you're constantly going to your upline to get the answers, that's okay at first. But at some point, you've got to be an independent distributor. I mean, that's our classification, right? Don't be a dependent distributor where you're constantly asking other people in your support line for simple questions, okay? Be independent. Be the person that people come to for answers, and that makes you an influencer. If people are not asking you questions, then you're not an influencer. They're going above you to find the influencer. And, our workshops, thinking about, creating influencers, our whole virtual workshops, their sole purpose is to get people to Pro 3. The sole purpose, to help people get to that point where they are independent, they are problem solvers, they are consistent. So we've put a lot of things in place to try to already create influencers, and that's why I was so excited when Darren kind of really defined it and outlined it as such. And I'm just super excited that we're actually talking about the things that's going to produce financial freedom. I love our products. It's where the passion normally starts. But if you guys know me, I love network marketing, and I also love the fact that this compensation plan can create, for the people that want it. We know not everybody wants it, but for those that do want it, we know it can create financial independence through a residual income. And the leverage, as Mr. Tim Cox just crushed it on stage, leverage comes by creating leadership, right? So that's what all this kind of comes hand in hand. So I think we've covered everything I wanted to cover there as far as, oh wow, time flies. We could keep chatting away on this thing, but just know we dearly missed all of you that couldn't be there. I know a lot of you guys wanted to be there. Life happens. Lifing, I heard that expression. I've heard it before, but when life is lifing on you, right? Lifing happens. Just stuff happens. We understand. We're so excited that you're plugged into this as a way to keep you motivated and understanding what's going on. And we're going to go do some intentional things in Kansas City.
I just remembered, you've got the webinar tonight, right? Aren't you doing the webinar tonight? Maybe?
Yes.
So start inviting to that, you guys. Let's start building some businesses.
All right, you guys. See y'all at 9 p.m., I guess.
Take care, guys.